Okay, we are live. Welcome to Weekend Wind Down with business coach Nancy. I am so excited every week for this hour where I get to drink wine, and I'm joined today by Christie Miller. We'll bring her on and give her a formal introduction in a minute, but I just wanted to let you guys know that the Sales and Leadership Academy for Interior Designers Group 5 has 5 people in it already. I'll be going up to 8 this time. I have a couple of people on my calendar who are interested that I need to talk to, but if you're interested, message me. We'll spend a quick 10 minutes on the phone to see if you're a good fit. I'm also building a course, and because I'm a keynote speaker in October, I actually, Christie can relate to this, I hired a speech coach, even though I make speeches all the time, to make it better because I believe in investing in myself. So cheers, everyone. Christie, I know you're drinking water because you're in California. It's a little early there. So cheers, everyone. Cheers to Weekend Wind Down. I'm sure my wine doesn't quite always fit into a healthy lifestyle, depending on how often I do it. But welcome, Christie Miller. You are right behind you. Eat, Train, Win, and the Healthy Living Architect. Welcome to Weekend Wind Down.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here. I'm a little bit giddy because I just came off of a webinar myself, and I can't stop smiling because of all the success that my clients are going to have. So thanks for having me, and cheers. If I had more time, I actually would have popped some champagne. And
so tell us what your webinar was about.
I am a health coach, but I am also a business coach primarily for health coaches. And so this week I have been teaching coaches, and it applies to whatever types of coaches. It applies basically to any business person, how to run a 5-day challenge online to build your email list and create more clients. And so today I was doing the webinar that leads into the program, which is called the Client Creator Playbook, where it's an 8-week course, and they're going to learn how to do a challenge that converts. And we just had a 5-figure launch. Just like that.
Woo, that's fantastic.
That's what I teach. Yeah, very exciting.
That's incredible. So now for most of the people watching are probably not going to be other coaches, although I do coach coaches as well. I teach what's called the anti-summit model, which I haven't started promoting yet. But most of my clients right now are in the interior design world. They either support interior designers or they are interior designers themselves. And I know with what you do, I know I struggle, right? I used to be a personal fitness instructor many, many moons ago, I think 22 years ago. And now that I kept pretty healthy, and now that I started the coaching business and I'm working so hard, sometimes my health and my fitness program and my eating is the first thing that goes. So I'm sure there are people on here who can relate to that. Can anyone relate to that? I don't know if you got to share yet, but I just want to go check to make sure we are on.
I'm supposed to be sharing. So I'm going to your business page. It is slowly coming up.
Yeah, everything's a little delayed when we're using Be Live.
Yes. So let me share. And let me go here. And I got this.
You got this. If not, we share afterwards. So if you guys know people who are struggling with their eating habits and staying healthy, share this broadcast because this is going to be very helpful, because I'm going to really dig into Christie about like how I can get better, which is going to help all you guys get better too. Because I know when I'm coaching clients, Christie, they say like, I haven't been getting my workouts in. I'm not eating right. I'm having a glass of wine every night. So tell us what to do.
Okay, so first I want to give a little bit of background. I don't even know if you know this, but I used to be an interior designer.
No, really?
Yeah, so I have this thing. Yeah, I have this little known disease called career ADD. And I have been a financial analyst, a corporate attorney, an interior designer, an LA County badass sheriff at the age of 44. And I am now a health coach and a business coach to health coaches.
Oh my God, that's incredible. Yes, I've changed careers quite a few times as well. I was a senior vice president in mortgage banking. Then I was a personal fitness instructor. Then I owned Expressive Living, art framing, and accessories, which is how I got into interior design, niche within the interior design market. And now I'm a business coach. So I never heard the term career ADD, but I think I might qualify for that as well.
Yeah, I made up that term. Should have trademarked it, but hello, fellow career ADD sufferer. Well, and the way that I got into it was my husband came home one day and I had a weird look on my face, and we live at the beach. So our lots are 90 by 30, and that isn't even yards, that is feet. And yeah, I know that look on your face. And he came home and he asked me what was wrong because I just had this weird look. And I said, I want to take a bath. And he says, oh, you want me to turn on the jacuzzi? And I said, no, I want to take a bath. And he says, well, we don't have a bathtub. And I said, well, and I unscrolled this drawing. Here's how we can get a bathtub. So we actually call our bathtub the $500,000 bathtub because before we knew it, we were essentially, we tore down most of the house, had to keep up some walls because of the Coastal Commission, but we tore down most of the house, built a second story and a third story deck or sun deck, and we ended up in Coastal Living magazine. And before I knew it, I was in interior design school and had my own business.
How long did you do interior design for?
I think I did it for about 6 years.
That's incredible. Yeah, Julie is saying, sisters, I've changed careers too. I find that to be very common at our ages. We've had the luxury, I call it the luxury sometimes, of changing careers multiple times.
Yeah.
But now, and you're like me, right? Because now you're starting to do, you have two sides of your business coaching and the healthy living and health coaching. It's because we're perpetually wanting to grow businesses is the way I look at it. And now I get to help other people grow their businesses, and I always feel satisfied.
Yeah, mine came about a different way. Like I didn't go into the business coaching because I had this desire to create another business. Really what it is I am on a mission to help women lose 1 million pounds.
Ooh.
My chest gets so heavy every time I say that because it is such a huge goal. And I know I can't do it alone. And because I've had such incredible success online with my health coaching business, naturally other health coaches were coming to me asking me, how am I doing this? How, all of that. And because I'm a financial analyst and I was a corporate attorney, I have that business mindset. And so it just organically grew into this piece. And then sometime last year, my business coach, Dallas, and I decided that we need to make this not a secret, like to actually start talking about the fact that I do business coaching for health coaches.
Yeah, I love that.
And the way I'm looking at it is I'm so passionate about making the world a healthier place that for every coach that I coach that then helps women lose weight, I'm counting that pound in my tally. Not that I have an official tally, but
I was going to say, how do you keep track of how much you want to help people lose, women, or just doesn't matter?
Women. I want to help women lose 1 million pounds.
Hello, Gina. Well, okay, so 1 million pounds. So I'm sure as people come on and they're watching on replay, there are women here, me included, that you could help have me lose some pounds to add to your total. So,
but I can only do that if you are willing to have a fun weight loss journey. So I lost 31 pounds 7 years ago. And even my weight loss and health coaching business, that grew organically because I was making it look so easy and I wasn't depriving myself. I wasn't, skipping events because I was scared to have a glass of wine or, oh no, I can't have a piece of cheese. I'm not going to lose weight. Right. And so I just developed this whole different approach to weight loss where it's fun. We don't start in the kitchen or the gym because that is not where weight loss begins. It begins right here. So we go in the back door or the top door or whatever, the hatch. We work on the mindset required for weight loss. And I can tell I'm smiling. My smile's getting bigger and bigger. Like, we seriously make weight loss fun. Have you ever heard that anywhere? Of course not. And Back in March, I intentionally went on this journey to gain 20 pounds because I hear from so many of my clients that weight loss over 50 is so much harder. And I am 53 years old. And I thought, okay, let's see how much different it is, because I had lost most of my weight in my 40s.
Right.
So it is different. It is a little bit harder, but I'm already, I think, 8 pounds down, and it's happening.
That's awesome. I am 53 also. Yeah. And I am in the category of it's getting harder. When I was younger, I knew exactly how much weight I could drop in a month by just eating healthy, making sure I exercised every day or did some kind of activity. Now I do those same things, and I'm lucky to lose half of what I used to lose.
Yeah. So you're really going to hate this since it is wind down.
Because you're going to tell me not to drink my wine.
No, because I never tell anyone not to do anything, but I just like to give facts. This is a little known fact that we should have been taught. When did we all start drinking? In high school, we should have been taught.
I was going to say, do we really need to admit when we started drinking?
Yeah, so I just said high school. So our first drink of the day shuts our metabolism and our fat burning furnace off for 6 to 8 hours.
What?
So let's just pretend that you burn 2,400 calories a day. When you have that first glass of wine, you are now burning only 1,600 calories that day because your liver thinks the alcohol is poison. I can't believe I'm even saying this with a smile on my face. I should be crying.
I'm like going to switch. Wait, I got water here too. Do I need to switch, or is it too late?
No, because I have really good news for you though. Okay, that's just the first drink. The second drink only shuts it down for 1 to 2 hours. So if you want to drink, have the whole bottle in one day. Just don't drive, and don't get mad at me if you have a lampshade on your head.
Have it in one day and then don't drink. It's funny. Somebody just commented as me. So one of my employees is on, and they must be on my Facebook page. It must have, yeah, it must be my son. I bet you he just switched. So if our basal metabolic rate, you're basically telling me it shuts down. How much you burn, if you were still all day, how much your body would burn is going to shut down completely.
By a third. You're going to lose a third. Yeah. Yeah, I know, it sucks. It sucks.
So if I like to have a glass of wine 5 days a week, that means 5 days a week I'm even if it's one glass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's not the 100 calories, assuming you're pouring the way one serving is,
4 ounces.
Does. Hello.
Yeah.
You put as much in the glass as fits, or that you won't spill when you carry it to the couch. Like, he serves an inch of wine in a glass that's this big. So yeah, it's not about the 100 calories in the wine, which is what we all think of when we're dieting. You know, oh yeah, I can sneak in 100 calories. I just won't eat any vegetables today. I'll cover that. But that's not it. It's that your fat burning furnace shuts the, can I say this? Shuts the down. It shuts the shit down. Like, because your liver is so busy figuring out what the heck is going on. Now, I'm saying all of this, and last night I had a chocolate espresso martini. I do not believe in perfectionism. I mean, honestly, I would have opened up a bottle of champagne to celebrate my great launch today, except I only had 3 minutes to go to the bathroom and get water.
I get on here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm really very depressed right now, but it really does make sense. And how I've never read that before.
I had one of those moments, and I'm still trying to find the book that it's in. I had one of those what the F moments. I won't say that one on Be Live, but what the F moments when I was reading it, when I was studying for my nutrition exams. I was like, why didn't they tell us this in college? Why didn't they tell us this in high school? But back then, I could outrun my mouth. I can't outrun my mouth in more ways than one these days. But yeah, it's just, I apologize for all the people that are here.
I think I'm devastated right now, so I need to recover. Let me have a sip of wine while I recover. So in other words, I'm drinking this whole bottle today, and then I am not drinking for the next 6. Is that what you're telling me?
Exactly. There you go.
Damn. All right. So my metabolism has dropped by a third because I started drinking.
Yes, you might as well have the cake and the cookies and the potato chips and everything else today. No,
And
I'm kidding.
I can't,
That's the all or nothing.
I won't do that. It'll take a little while for this to absorb. So what if I go for a run or a 4 mile walk? Nothing counters it?
No, I mean, you'll still burn those extra calories in activity. But yeah, it's just,
Still 1/3 less than.
yeah.
Okay.
I know. I'm such the Debbie Downer, but at least I'm laughing and
Hey, listen, you're doing it with a smile, which I'm very impressed about. I have to force my smile now that I know that, because I'm going into the city tomorrow night to see Bette Midler in Hello Dolly. And
Where's wine?
red wine. Does red
Yeah.
wine versus white wine matter?
It doesn't matter. Wine, whiskey, beer, it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right, let's get off the drinking thing because I got to get over that. So when you say make fitness fun, help us out.
Yeah. Darn, my notes are back there from, I did an interview where it was all about putting the F word back in weight loss or something like that. And I can't remember all the different acronyms that I had, but when it comes to fitness, especially us women over 50s, and you as a former personal trainer, we've had great success in toning our bodies at some point in our life. And we did that by going hardcore, gnarly I mean, I never did CrossFit because I knew that I would break an arm.
I did for about 3 months with my son. And then when I box jumped and missed, I thought, what am I, crazy? I'm 50 years old. I'm going to break my ass doing this.
Yeah.
This is stupid, and I'm not doing it anymore.
So I do believe that 50-year-olds can do CrossFit. The reason why I don't do it is I am so damn competitive that I could literally have a bone coming out of my arm. And if I saw some lady doing more push-ups, I would keep going. So that's why I don't do CrossFit. I mean, I've already gone on the show Wipeout. I don't know if you ever saw that, the ABC show, that big obstacle course Wipeout, and blew out. Yeah, I did. In fact, I'm going to challenge you to spend 99 cents on Amazon. Go look for Batter Up. That is my segment. And I will tell you, make sure you drink that whole bottle of wine before you watch it and empty it your bladder. And you are going to thank me. It is going to be the best 99 cents you ever spent.
Okay, Amazon.
Batter Up.
Batter Up. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, watch your episode.
Yeah, watch my episode while under the influence of wine.
Okay, that's making fitness fun. All I have to do is drink and watch.
Right. So I'm all about, like, how can we bring in fitness in a way that doesn't feel like it's another thing on our to-do list? So one of the things that I have is I have a mini rebounder, a little trampoline. And for anyone that wants to buy a trampoline, go pro, spend the extra money, and go with this brand called Bellicon. It doesn't squeak. You get cute colors. I have all the little, I don't know, ropes that are on it or in my Eat, Train, Win colors, or as close as I could get to them. But if I'm ever in a bad mood, which does happen even when I'm drinking wine, I just walk out from my office, go over into my gym right there, and I bounce on my trampoline. And I swear to you, within 30 seconds, I feel like a 5-year-old kid that is on the playground and having fun. And the cool thing about rebounders is it's really good for the lymphatic system. It helps get toxins out of us. It's really soft on the joints. And you can just be bouncing while you're watching a webinar or, let's be honest, Real Housewives of Orange County. It doesn't matter.
I never watched that one. My sister watches that one.
Guilty as charged. So you can make it fun that way. Even things like grabbing a girlfriend and going for a walk. I'm a big believer that everyone needs strength training, so we got to work some of that in, especially for over 50. We've got issues with osteoporosis and bone density. And the best way to strengthen our bones, I'm preaching to the choir, is through strength training. So
yeah, and what's amazing about strength training, I mean, I am naturally muscular, or I should say maybe not naturally, but I was a gymnast when I was a little baby. And as soon as I start working out, my kids immediately go, Mom, are you working out again? Because within a week, you can tell I start getting tone. I'm one of the lucky ones. That doesn't always happen to everybody. And
It's
still,
not
I don't do it
fair.
consistently. I know it's really not. It's natural genetics, definitely, because I was muscular since I was younger. But now I was always an hourglass, and now I'm a 5-hour glass. That's what I say. I'm like, now, last year I was a 3-hour glass. Now I'm basically the same for the last couple of years, but so not where I want to be. And that's really the complaint that you hear from everyone, right? I'm okay, but I want to be so much better. So I used to have a small trampoline. I got rid of it, but we're talking 15 years ago. Does yours have a handle? Because I might need a little bit of a handle to hold on if I don't want to fall off.
I think they might make a handle attachment, but you would have to check.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I like that idea.
Yeah. I would check. So it's Bellicon, Bellicon. They don't know I exist. This is not an affiliate link. But it's just, I did all the research when I was getting mine, and I think mine was about $500. And I love it. I love it.
So if you don't have time to go out for a run, or you don't have time to go for a walk, do you have to stay on it for a half an hour, or you can literally do it in 5-10 minute intervals throughout the day when you need a little boost?
Yeah. The studies have shown that 10 minutes really does help the body. So you could do, 3 different 10-minute groupings of it, or, do 10 minutes and then later go for a walk or whatever. I'm all about just getting us up to the next incremental level. Like, yes, we know the Centers for Disease Control tells us that we should do 5 30-minute aerobic workouts and 2 full body strength training a week, blah, 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 blah. If you are sitting on the couch and doing nothing, that sounds so crazy hard that we're not even going to start. It's the all or nothing and the perfectionism attitude that comes in. So for me, my entire approach with Eat, Train, Win is, how can you score a 1% win today? That today may mean putting on your workout gear because you haven't had it on in 5 years. Even if you don't work out.
Listen, there's many days I'm doing my Facebook Lives, ponytail, workout clothes, and I'm like, because I'm just wearing it, does that count?
I wish it would.
I wish it would. So, all right. So baby steps is basically what you're saying. Yeah. And that's what you teach.
Yeah. With everything. I talk about that in fitness. I talk about it, if you don't drink water, can you tomorrow commit to getting 8 ounces of water in among everything else? The next day, or the next week, then can you get up to 16 ounces? Really just little incremental steps. And because you have all the interior designers here, here's how I describe it. It's like building a house. We cannot put the roof on before the foundation is set. So I call myself the healthy living architect. I'm helping people design the body and the lives that they want. And there is a certain blueprint that we have to go through and we have to follow. You cannot put the insulation in the house before the framing is up. Nothing's going to hold it in. So it's just literally like taking my clients up the next step and the next step and the next step, so that all of a sudden they look down and they're like, whoa, how did I get here? And it doesn't feel hard because the things that I ask them to do are pretty much laughable. Like, it's such little things that you can't possibly fail.
So do you believe in weighing yourself every day or not weighing yourself every day?
I believe that each person has to decide how that will work for them. For me, when I was in weight loss mode 7 years ago, I weighed myself every day, but I did not allow it to affect my psyche. Right. If weighing yourself every day is going to impact you emotionally, then no, you don't do it. But for me, I used to have these crazy conversations with a scale that went something like this, like, yeah, cool. All right, we're on the same page. Or you bleeping, there is no way. And then I would start laughing. Or some days I'd be like, Got away with it, Mr. Scale. You must have been sleeping on the job yesterday.
Just so you know, I drank a whole bottle of wine yesterday. Yeah. I had an Oreo cookie.
Yeah. So for me, it was all about feedback. And, life and success all comes from a series of feedback. And there is positive feedback, there is negative feedback. But when we open our ears to really looking and listening to the feedback that's coming our way, then we can switch courses when we need to. And so for me, that's what the scale is. But I do have clients where if a scale gets anywhere near them, they're going to shut down completely emotionally. And so for those clients, I suggest taking before photos. They don't have to be published anywhere. They can be locked under lock and key. But taking before pictures in as little of clothing as they are comfortable doing. Doesn't have to be naked. I didn't do my before pictures naked. No way. No way. But really taking before pictures, and then also having one pair of pants that are not stretchy that they can measure with, because the pants don't lie. Unless they're stretchy yoga pants, they lie. I mean, you could put a size 14 body in a size 6 yoga pants and they're still going to fit. But
yeah, I've been a small in yoga pants forever.
Yeah. With a regular pair of pants that are not stretch pants, that is the best way to measure. When I was in my weight loss journey 7 years ago, I had a pair of, oh geez, am I going to even admit this? I had a pair of white Guess shorts that they were very high-waisted and they were so short. They were just so short. I had them still in a drawer just because that was from when my husband and I were first dating. And I don't know why. Maybe I wanted to see if they would fit 30 years later. And so when I started my weight loss journey, I put them on and it was like this much space. There was no way I could even get buttoned. But I kept trying those on as the journey went and went and went. And then eventually they fit. And hell no, I did not wear them out in public. I did not take a picture of them. But it was just fun to see, wow, my body is changing. Because a lot of times our body will be shrinking, even though the scale isn't saying anything.
Right.
Yeah. So that's kind of a long answer of what I think about the scale. I think everybody is just so individualized that it really depends on how the scale affects you personally.
Yeah, for me, it's starting to echo. Be Live does this once in a while. For me, if I don't weigh myself too many days in a row, I kind of don't focus. Like I need to weigh myself and go, okay, I have a goal to just keep it stable or go down a little bit over this week. If I don't weigh myself, it's kind of like, surprise, shit, now I have to really work harder. Can anyone relate to this whole scale thing? Like who weighs themselves daily and who weighs themselves once a week? I know my entire family, we are obsessed with weight and it's not a good thing. Like you just want to focus more on the healthy habits and less on the weight.
Yeah.
But how long did it take you to lose the weight 7 years ago?
Yeah, it took me 15 weeks to lose my first 20 pounds. So it was about, 1.5 pounds a month, if I'm doing the math right, 1.75 pounds a month. So it was
how much weight in how many weeks?
I screwed that up. I said a month. It took me 15 weeks to lose 20 pounds. So that was like 1 1/3 pound a week, or 1.5 or 1 3/4. Who does math here? I got a phone.
I have a calculator. We get this.
Yeah. So it was slow and steady. So let's see.
See, Allison weighs herself daily too, like me. I get it, Allison.
It was 1.3 pounds a week on average, which is slow and steady. I remember the first week it was probably like 4 pounds, and you're like, yeah, woohoo! But that's just water weight. It's God's way, or the Great Pumpkin's way, whatever people believe in, of just rewarding your efforts the first week with some water weight coming off, and who cares? But it shows up on the scale. And
then you put it right back on. Okay, so fitting in exercise. So a trampoline, great idea. Yeah. Love that. Works probably really well for people who work a lot from home. But like, what if you're out all the time running, which a lot of interior designers are? They're always going to showrooms and then they're going to client. By the time they get home, their kid's home, or their husband wants dinner, or they like to make dinner.
So what they can do is they can schedule into their day with every appointment that they have to arrive 15 minutes early. And if by chance it's a high-rise building, maybe they're doing a condo in a high-rise building, walk the stairs. And I don't mean walk the stairs to the point where you then show up sweaty and you're dripping all over the silk fabric, but just take the stairs. You know, it's little things like that that really, really add up. And I noticed this myself a couple of years ago. I was diagnosed with adrenal fatigue, and my doctors didn't want me doing anything except walking the dog. So I had to give up. I was told by my doctors, give up strength training, give up spin classes, because all of those further tax the adrenals. And then when I was allowed to start doing stuff again, I decided one day that I was just going to walk up and down my stairs in my house for 10 minutes. Oh my goodness. I nearly died. Like, my legs hurt so bad. And I'm so glad I had that experience, because it showed me that, yes, just a little bit helps. We don't have to go run 6 miles a day to get the health benefits of working out. Now, if somebody wants to run a half marathon or a marathon, awesome, go for it. I'm all for it. But if we can just be sneaking in 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, we're just going to feel so much better. And I had a cool experience these last 2 days. Like, you know, I'm in the middle of my launch, and in the middle of launches, it's just like one of your interior designers. If it's the week to install the house after the major remodel and you have a week to do it, it's crazy. It's bananas.
Yes.
The last thing you're going to think about is working out, most likely. So that was kind of like my launch this week, getting very little sleep. And I scheduled my personal trainer for 3 p.m. yesterday and 3 p.m. the day before. Now, normally I work out in the morning, but I had my Facebook Lives at 11:30. Well, I'm not going to work out in the morning when I need to be prepping for those and then try and take a shower and all that. So we did it in the afternoon. So on Wednesday, I got on my bike. I live at the beach. I got on my bike to ride to the gym, which is 1.6 miles away. Yeah. And within about, I want to say 3 minutes of being on my bike, which is the cutest thing ever. It's turquoise with pink polka dots and white and flowers, and it has this cute little girl's horn. Within about 3 minutes, I felt like the dog that broke out of the fence. I know I was riding my bike like this. I was so happy. I got to the gym and I looked at my personal trainer. I'm like, I'm so happy to be here. And he's like, what are you smoking, babe? And it just goes to show you that even when we are at the maximum stress level, if we can just take 10 minutes, like I could have turned around and rode back and not even worked out with my personal trainer, and I would have gotten great benefits of just being out there for 20 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. And it was fun too. And then yesterday I rode my bike to the gym also at 3 p.m. And I was really happy in telling him I loved him until I realized that it was a legs day. And I thought the day before was the legs day. And he said, no, that was the warm up for the legs day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I can't move today. I'm like, oh.
All I remember was thinking, how is she doing that Facebook Live from the bicycle? And that phone is propped up on that bicycle. How did she prop that up? I was like, you were riding and talking. Were you holding it?
I was holding it. And my assistant coach texted me. She's like, I want to see you fall. I'm like, that's not very nice.
No, that's not very nice. I really did not know you were holding it, because I thought I would have been like shaking if I was one-handed.
Yeah, I was holding it. Not a good idea.
Yeah, no, not a good idea. Yeah. Okay. One of the other things I love that you do, because I'm in your group, tell everyone the name of your group.
My private Facebook group is called Eat, Train, Wins, Weight Loss Winners.
And I'm in that group.
Eat, Train, Win, Weight Loss Winners.
Eat, Train, Win, Weight Loss Winners. And that's open to anyone. Oh, it's a public.
No boys allowed.
No boys allowed. So if any boys are watching, don't join. So one of the things that I was watching consistently, maybe you're not doing it anymore, maybe I just got too busy to watch, but I love your meal prep Sundays, I think you call
it. Yeah. What I was doing in that group, for those of you that aren't members yet, is every day I was posting a graphic that had a different theme. And I've pulled back from doing that. Just honestly, I didn't schedule them because I was in the middle of this other launch.
Right.
Yeah, I do meal prep Sundays where I want to see what everyone else is prepping. And meal prep Sundays for my husband and I has completely changed our lives. I know that sounds really dramatic, but especially working from home, I can now go downstairs when we have prepped on Sunday, open the refrigerator and actually say, what am I going to eat, from a standpoint of there's so many healthy choices. And it takes us about anywhere from 2 to 4 hours, depending on how much we're making. It doesn't have to be on a Sunday. That's just when we like to do it. And it's just so nice to have so many choices already made. And I remember there's a statistic that says the average restaurant meal takes over an hour and has over 1,000 calories. So, and that's the average. Yeah.
Between the wine and going out to eat, this is my life. Now I know why. Not that I didn't know why it was happening already, but now to hear it from you, I think, oh, this has been my problem. I know it's my problem. I have to stay home more. I have to prep my meals because I'm the one who goes to the refrigerator lately. And again, I used to be really much better at this. I open up the fridge now and go, I don't want any of that stuff. So it does. After we talk about meal prepping, whatever day it is for you, we have to go back to the mindset because you said it best.
Yeah. And one thing that I do with my refrigerator is I'll do all the meal prep. And I know you're supposed to have certain things on certain shelves. Forget that. What I do is the top shelf has all of these amazing foods that I prepared in glass containers. So the first thing I see is this big mason jar of cut up broccoli and cauliflower. I am not a girl that grew up loving vegetables. I was a 3-year-old card-carrying vegetable hater up until about 5 years ago. Now I enjoy them, but I still have to force myself and remind myself, hey, Missy, you're supposed to be eating vegetables. Yeah. So I will put those mason jars, and I have big mason jars, put those on the top shelf, then with all the other yumminess, and my healthy desserts are a couple shelves below. So that when I'm opening the door every time, I'm seeing all the super healthy stuffs, because I could very easily eat dessert all day long, and even healthy desserts, you just can't.
Yeah, I love dessert also. And my boyfriend just came on, and he's going to hate this because he's a meat and potatoes guy, and I went vegetarian. I went vegan for a little while, and I did lose some weight going vegan, and more for health reasons, but more so for the cruelty to the animals. I watched the movie and I went, I can't believe they're doing this. So now I've pulled back a little bit. I'm vegetarian, so I don't eat, I should say I'm pescatarian because I do eat fish once in a while. But at home, I don't eat fish either. It's just if I'm out and I don't have a lot of choices, and I'm fine with that. Moderation. But I do like healthy food. For them, I hate vegetables, but I can find ways to get them in when I'm focused on it. And sometimes it just feels like, and I'm sure people can relate to this, I'm focused on so many freaking things. I already have how many full-time jobs, and now I have to make this a full-time job again, like I used to when I was younger. And, I worked out for 25 years at 5:30 in the morning, 6 days a week, 5 days a week sometimes, every day for 25 years. And then I just decided I don't want to live like that anymore. So I like what you're saying. It can be fun.
It can be fun. You're gonna hate the next thing that comes out of my mouth.
Don't tell me. La, la, la.
I'm such the Debbie Downer. I actually get up at 4:58 a.m. That's a weird number. It adds up to 17, which is my lucky number. So who cares if it's 5 a.m. or 4:58? 2 minutes extra isn't going to matter to my sleep. So I set my alarm at 4:58, and I get up. And most days I will do my exercise. Unless it's the days I have my trainer, I'll do my exercise first thing in the morning, because
that's what I usually do, and I don't do that anymore. So we definitely.
Yeah. And does the exercise get done?
No, most days it doesn't these days, because I don't go. Well, now I walk at the beach. I do 4 miles at the beach, but still, I'll commit to doing it every day, and then I'll wake up and go, I got to get ready for a presentation. I've got to get ready for a webinar. I just want to meditate for 10 minutes, listen to a podcast, have the quiet time. I still wake up at 5:30. So there is literally no excuse.
Yeah. Other than I just don't want to do it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So it just comes down to like really tapping into your why power of why is exercise important to you? And if you're willing, I can try and take you through an exercise right now to get to it. You want to do it?
Okay.
Okay. So Nancy.
Make fun of me. Go ahead.
Never make fun of me. Nancy G, why do you want to work out?
I feel better when I
answer. Okay. Awesome. Why is it important for you to feel better?
Because I view myself differently.
Awesome. Why is it important for you to view yourself differently or feel more? Why do you want to view yourself differently? Why is that important?
Let me think about this. Why is that important?
What happens when you view yourself differently? Go down that path.
Okay, but I actually want to buy clothes that I used to look good in.
Yeah. And why do you want to look good in your clothes?
Because that makes me feel better.
Yeah. And when you feel better, how do you show up differently in your business or in your personal life?
More confidently.
Yes. And when you are more confident, why is that important? What happens then?
We say that again. I was reading Allison's comments.
Yeah.
Stump Nancy Sylvester Gansecofer. Right.
Why do you want to be more confident? Why is that important?
Because I want to show other people also that it can be done.
Yeah. Okay. So what we would do is we would keep, this is called the 5 whys exercise. It was created by Toyota back in the 40s or 50s. For them, anytime a manager or executive wanted to do a new project, they would go deep, deep, deep into the root of why that project was important. I use it for weight loss and for, whenever somebody wants to change their behaviors. So what I challenge you to do, Nancy, is later today, after more wine, keep asking yourself, as you answer each question, ask yourself why that's important, why that's important, why that's important. And you will eventually get to something that makes you teary-eyed or makes you mad or gives you goosebumps or gives you just your stomach's turning or whatever. It's going to trigger an emotional feeling for you. And when that happens, you have discovered your why power. And that why power will help you exercise when you don't want to.
I love this. And I'm trying to think of the name of the book. I was listening to Audible recently in the last month that puts you through this why question.
Oh.
But not related to weight loss.
I
don't know. Do you ever hear the 6-second rule?
5-second rule.
5-second.
Mel Robbins. I love her.
Love her. And I feel like it might have been possibly in one of her things, or I have to look back. Yeah. But you're 100%. She's 100% right on, everyone who's watching. When you hit the thing that gets deep down to the core of why you're not taking action to do something you say you really want, and this is true in business as well. If you're saying you want something, but you're not marketing enough, why aren't you marketing enough, right? And you do this why question series on every answer, you will eventually come to what's holding you back. And yeah, you're right. I'm staying composed because I'm on air, but 100%, I want to be proud of the way I look all the time. That's what brings tears to my eyes. And when I don't feel proud in front of 300 people that I'm making a presentation to, or on camera taking photos, or just meeting with even one client, I want to present at my best.
Yeah. And it has nothing to do with our weight.
Cheers to that. No, you're right.
It's that pride comes from how we're caring for ourselves and how we're loving ourselves. And I always tell my clients that you can't start a weight loss journey based on self-hate. If you want to succeed, it has to be based on self-love. And I'm getting goosebumps now. We do a exercise called mirror work that I learned from Jack Canfield. I'm now certified to teach his success principles.
I saw somewhere that you were doing a Jack Canfield retreat or something.
Love him. Yeah, I'm in a year-long credential training program with him. And this mirror work is essentially you look yourself in the mirror at the end of each day and you start out by saying your name. So I would say Christie, just to get my attention. Like, I know it's me, but okay, he's the expert. I'm following this.
Exactly. You know what? It's telling your mind.
Yes. Yes. And then it's acknowledging yourself for any disciplines that you followed, any temptations that you avoided. And I forget his exact words. I call them wins, any 1% wins that you had. And you say this out loud in the mirror. And then at the end, you look deep into your eyes like a long lost lover. And that's not now how he teaches it. That's how I say it. And you tell yourself, I love you. And you do not go like this. I love you. It's not a drive-by, I love you.
I love you, but not really today because I didn't do success. I didn't have success. You're supposed to be focusing on the parts that you did.
Only focusing on the positives. And your positive may have been that day I got out of bed and I went to work. You know, that might have been it. But by doing this mirror work, and you're supposed to do it 40 days in a row, if you miss a day, you start over on that count. It builds self-esteem and confidence like nothing I've ever seen. I had a client that I talked to today, and she's already lost 35 pounds. She's like, I'm having trouble celebrating because I have another 70 to go. And I asked her, I said, are you doing the mirror work? Because we teach it in one of our groups. And she said, no. I'm like, it's the cheapest way to celebrate. And it feels really weird for the first week. I mean, I was going downstairs, closing the door so the dog and the husband wouldn't hear me. And it's just weird and it's uncomfortable. I've had clients that have said they did day one and they just started bawling and they're never going to do it again. And I'm like, no, you got to go back there and try. I have one of my clients who said that it has really curbed her chocolate cravings. Another client who says, the mirror work helps her make better choices during the day because she can't wait to see herself at the end of the day and brag in the mirror. I'm like, whoa.
That's incredible. All right, walk us through it again. And I was going to ask you, what does your husband say when you're standing in front of the mirror, or do you do it in private? And does there have to be a full-length mirror, or can it just be a mirror?
No, I mean, you could actually, my assistant coach, I'm going to call her out. I'm allowed to tell everything that she tells me. She sent me a message one day. She's like, can you do that on your phone? And I was like, if you're laying in bed and you don't want to get up, can you do it on your phone? And I'm like, I don't know. Are you really looking in your eyes? Because you and I, we do so many Facebook Lives, and sometimes you have to look like over here at the camera, but then if you start looking at the screen, you're not looking at yourself. And so I was like, no, I don't think you can really look in your eyes. But then I did it and I could. And I'm like,
you could?
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, you lazy bum. You can do it in bed with your phone, but get up and go to the mirror.
You should get her a gift. Get her one of those makeup mirrors so she can put it on her nightstand so she can do it from her bed anytime she wants. And it's a true mirror.
Yeah.
All right. Walk us through it again.
So here's the process. I wish I had my checklist in front of me to really say it. Maybe I could put the checklist in the group for your gals, because I have a checklist where you check off each day of the 40 days and it has the instructions at the bottom. So you start by looking yourself in the mirror and saying your name. Then you acknowledge yourself for any disciplines that you followed through on. So let's say it was working out or eating healthy or whatever. Maybe you got that proposal to a client that you didn't want to do. And then you acknowledge yourself for any temptations that you avoided. And then I call it just acknowledge any wins that you had. And then at the end of that, and this could be 3 seconds, it could be 30 minutes. However, I haven't done the 30-minute one yet. And then at the very end, you look deep into your eyes like a long lost lover and say, I love you, and just hold that gaze. And then you're good.
Oh my
Good.
God. I can see you doing this. I'd be cracking up. I'm going to go up to the mirror and go, hello, Nancy. And be like, I did really well today. Gotta go.
Well, okay, there have been some days when I've done that, where I've walked up to the mirror and I'm like, hey, Kristie, you're a rock star. I love you, buddy. And I'm out of there. But you know, the fact that we're doing it, that's not the way to get the best results out of it.
Right.
But if that's the way that you don't break the chain that day, then heck, I say go for it. Like, I'm all for it.
I love it. I love it. Okay, 40 days of that. Meal prep Sundays. Now I know, do you eat meat?
Yes.
Okay.
I had cow last night.
You had what?
I had cow last night.
Yeah, cow last night.
Filet mignon that was melt in my mouth. Delicious.
I don't eat red meat for the most part, and I really don't miss chicken. I ate a lot of chicken.
Yeah, and broccoli.
But you know, but I love I do love like pork pot stickers and an occasional lamb. But now I'm like, the brain is just shut off. It's not even most of the time an option for me. So, and I'm okay with it and I like it. And it took me a while to slow it, make slow decisions into it. So I wasn't feeling deprived. And it sounds like the way you teach for Eat, Train, Win is a similar fashion.
Exactly.
Small wins.
Small wins. I always say that the 1% wins eventually turn into healthy habits, which then become non-negotiables. So for me, before my weight loss journey, I never used to eat breakfast. Or if I was eating breakfast, it was a champagne brunch and it probably started at 11. So I never had, the break the fast meal. I just didn't. I would save all those calories for more junk food later. So my 1% win when I started my weight loss journey was to start eating breakfast. Even if it wasn't a super healthy breakfast, I was getting in the pattern of eating regularly so that I wouldn't binge at night because I was starving and suddenly realized, oh yeah, I'm hungry.
Right.
So then that 1% win turned into a healthy habit where I was eating breakfast all the time. And now it's a total non-negotiable. Those few times a year when I have to take a fasting blood test, I actually get a little bit miffed. I'm like, I can't have my breakfast till 10 a.m. This is an outrage. Why don't we have a blood bank that's open at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m.?
Oh, absolutely. They should have that because you can't exercise then, hard.
Right.
You eat the breakfast and then, I get, and I'm one of those I'm a grazer.
Mm-hmm.
I need to eat all day long because I get nauseous if I don't. But I'm not making great choices, and that's where I have to make better choices.
Right.
Do you recommend anything that, listen, there's so many weight loss plans out there. Not eating after a certain time at night.
Okay, so our bodies cannot tell time. Those little monsters called calories, they can't tell time. So the studies have shown you can eat all your calories in one meal if you want. And for many people, that doesn't make any difference. But here's the issue with eating late at night. Generally, you are eating in excess of your calorie target because it is often emotional eating, boredom, stress, all of that. So it's not so much the fact that you're eating at 8 p.m. It's the fact that you're eating more than you should. For your body, more than your body needs. I don't like to use the word should, but more than your body needs. The other thing is some people have really tough problem sleeping if they're eating late. I can go have a burger, fries, a pizza, a steak, and 4 tacos and sleep on the freeway. And I don't have, it does not affect my body. Right. I can sleep. My husband will get heartburn and he'll get nightmares. He actually has nightmares if he goes to bed full.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's all, and he may have nightmares because I'm kicking him because maybe he snores more when he's full. I don't know. But it's just important to know our bodies. For me, I like to eat regularly throughout the day. There's now studies that show if you eat 3 meals and 2 little snacks and 1 small after dinner thing, that your body won't burn fat. Well, that's bullshit. I mean, so I think we all have to figure out what works for us. And I'm all about making it fun in that we can approach it with childlike curiosity. So the lovely things that I used to do in my 30s to lose weight are not going to work in my 50s. So let me just pretend I'm a kid in first grade and I've never heard about weight loss. And let me just learn a new way. Except if I'm in first grade at age 53, I think I have bigger issues than some extra pounds that I want to lose. Yeah. So it's really all about just making it fun and being curious, as opposed to hating ourselves and being disappointed in ourselves because we allowed ourselves to put on the weight. It's like, first step is deciding, yes, I'm going to make this happen. It is a non-negotiable. And then the second step is just going for it with baby steps.
How do you make food fun?
Okay, everyone. I want everyone that watches this to go over to Christie Miller's Eat, Train, Win. This is my business page. And yesterday, I know people will be watching it on replays. Yesterday was August 23rd. On August 23rd, I did a Facebook Live showing you how to make chocolate chip peanut butter bites. Oh, that is fun. That is a food orgasm, and it's a healthy dessert. I actually had one before we started this session.
That's why you're so pretty.
Yeah.
So you can only have one, right? I mean, you gotta.
Yeah, let's pull on our big girl panties if we want to be in littler girl panties and realize that we are 100% responsible for our weight. We are 100% responsible for our health. And if we want to lose the weight, or if we want to have a more successful business, or if we want to have a better relationship, we have to do the things we know we need to do, even when we don't want to do them. So yes, we have to limit even healthy desserts. We have to limit them. Have there been days when I've had 8? Absolutely. If I ever hit a dozen, probably. And that's when we get to have childlike curiosity and find out what's going on. What am I feeding? Yeah. What does the little girl inside of me that is screaming for more cookies, what does she really want? And when we can, gosh, I'm almost going to cry. When we can address that, that's how we stop the emotional eating. My other thing is I'm all about eating mindfully. So when I was having this chocolate chip peanut butter bite, I can tell I'm smiling just saying the name. When I was having it, I wasn't on Facebook. I wasn't reading a magazine. I wasn't walking through the hallway. I was actually standing in my kitchen and having a food orgasm while eating it and like biting it. Yeah. And nodding and giggling like, this is so good. Someday somebody's going to show up at my house with one of those white coats with the long arms that ties in the back, and they're going to take me the heck away. But until then, I'm going with life should be fun, because all those years as a corporate attorney, I was not having fun. I had more people tell me I had a beautiful smile in the 6 months after I retired from law than my entire time I was in law school and practicing law. So I got some, yeah, thank you. I have some lost time to make up for. So it is all about fun. And if I can make weight loss fun, I can make anything fun. Last year I got audited, IRS audit. I made it fun. And when I sent them 2 huge binders with tabs and everything all like connected to make it so easy for them so they could see how wrong they were, like a week later, we got a letter back that says, here's your $12,000 bill. My husband's freaking out because this was the audit of my business. He's freaking out. He calls me up. We owe $12,000. And I started laughing. And he's like, what is that reaction for? And I said, because they're wrong. Like, I used to be a financial analyst. I can do simple math. Like, they don't have the ability to judge and say, should I have spent $30,000 filming professional videos? This is not a subjective thing. Here's what I did. It's for the business. Here are the receipts. Shut up about it.
Yeah, I have a friend going through it right now.
Yeah, but I made it fun. And guess what? What's my company name? Eat, Train, Win. I won. They finally sent a letter back saying, thank you. We are done with you. I'm like, yeah, dumbass.
I'll tell you, the money we waste on auditing smaller businesses than the big corporations always shocks me, but that's another whole conversation. But
Yeah.
yeah, good for you that you gave them everything they needed. You fought back, so to speak, by providing them with documentation, and you laughed it off. You just did what you had to do, even though it was turning your life upside down when it came to time.
Yeah.
Right?
And don't get me wrong. When I got the letter the first time, I was in sheer panic mode. I was pissed off. And that was because I knew I didn't have everything nicely organized, and I knew it was going to take some digging, and it took about 70 hours. So I spent a lot of money with my assistant. I spent a lot of my time. And so that was really why I was pissed off. There was never a doubt in my mind that this all wasn't legitimate. And so I was fine there. And what's interesting is when we went through this audit, we found, I can't remember if it was 28,000 or 34,000 of expenses that didn't even get picked up. So then the joke, because there was this weird printout in my Quicken where my CPA thought the marketing expenses was a subtotal of something else, but this was actually another $34,000, whatever the number was. And so the big joke was, I'm going to make the IRS pay me because now we're going to go back and restate our Schedule C and they're going to owe me money.
Love that.
Which they would have, but we decided not to do that, not to poke the snake.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you know what? Whatever. We're good.
Good for you. Do you believe it's 5:31?
No, I know. I was just looking at that. Yeah. I was like, wow, that hour went fast. What
I know. For you guys who are watching, when I told Christie it was an hour, she's like, oh, really? Like, we didn't think, sometimes my guests never know whether they're going to easily go an hour because we haven't spoken an hour. We've known each other, I guess, 3 years ago we met, where we had hired the same coach, and we were in a group of 200 people and learned some of the nooks and crannies of starting online businesses, which was crucial for us to be as successful as we are today. And I love that the enthusiasm you have and making things fun, that's the way I want people to start looking at their marketing, right? That's why I started Weekend Wind Down, right? Which now I may have to change. And I think next week my guest is Dollar Powell. She works in the interior design industry. She also used to be a police officer and now an interior designer. And now she started a marketing firm also. And she's like, I'm going to be doing whiskey. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll do whiskey with you. So I have a feeling Fridays is going to be the only day I'm supposed to be drinking anything. But at least I know that I can finish the whole bottle and then go cold turkey for 6 days.
Go for it.
So, Kristie, tell everyone once again where they can find you, what you're going to be putting in the chat for them, or you could put links or whatever you want to put. But tell them again how to find you.
Okay, you can find me at eattrainwin.com. Really, the best place to find me is on Facebook, Christie Miller's Eat Train Win. What I'm going to put in the chat or your Facebook page is a link to grab my Entrepreneur's Life Support System.
Ooh.
It's healthy living you don't have to think about. And in this document, we go through 10 things that you do in your business to be successful. And then I tell you the correlation to that in healthy living. So for instance, you draft a blueprint for success in your business. You need to draft a blueprint for success. And I give you examples and there's links to, I don't know, other goodies and all that. So I can put that in. And then I will also put the mirror work worksheet.
Yes. Yeah. I'm going to do that one.
It is truly amazing. Like, I may be in the mirror today for 1 minute per person that signed up for my program. So far that's going to be 35 minutes. I may be in there all night long telling myself what a rock star I am.
Your husband's going to be like, are you coming to bed, Kristie? Yeah, in a minute. I only have 20 more people to go to thank.
I know.
Well, thank you so much for being my guest here on Weekend Wind Down. I have expanded out to not just be interior design industry professionals, because as a business coach, I don't just coach interior designers, but also I think just anything of interest to an entrepreneur that they may be struggling with, right? So it's the time, it's a healthy living, it's being organized, it's social media. It really extends I could go on forever and ever. So thank you everyone for being here today. Let's thank Kristie. And we forgot to mention Julie's last comment. She said she lost 18 pounds, and sometimes I take a selfie in the mirror now. Similar type process. How fantastic is that?
Congratulations, Julie. That's awesome.
That is awesome. So, all right, we're going to sign out now, and I will see you in your group. Make sure everyone joins Kristie Eat, Train, Win group. It's great content. You do great lives. And join me next week when Darla Powell will be on Weekend Wind Down, and maybe I'll just drink half the bottle before I go. So.
I love the way you think. You're great, Nancy. Thanks for having me here.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you in my group, Actionable Entrepreneurs. Talk to you next week. Bye.